Hey everybody, what's going on? Rob Cesternino back for the Claim to Fame finale, season 3. What a wild ride this was. There were thrills and spills and so much to talk about. And let's bring in the world's greatest Claim to Fame expert, Jenny Autumn. Jenny, how are you?
Oh my goodness. I am reeling, Rob. You know what? This finale said, "Can I touch you there in your heart, in your soul?" And I said, "Yes, you can." I am satisfied.
Yes.
That's what people would say after a night of Michael Bolton, and I am feeling pleased with ultimately how this all turned out.
Yes. Okay. The wildest ride here through 2 hours of Claim to Fame, where we have our winner, Adam, the unlikeliest of winners, who said, who needs a social game to win Claim to Fame? And we will break it all down with not one but 2 episodes and not one but 2 great guests back with us. First, Maggie Morgan. Maggie, how are you?
I'm good. I'm so happy to be here. I love Claim to Fame. I love you guys. It's going to be so much fun. This episode was weird. I can't wait to talk about all of it with you. I'm pumped to be here.
Very excited to have you here. And then, of course, very excited to have here with us a man who has a shot named after him. Have you ever had a Chappell and melon shot? It's Chappell.
It's called a Chappell's show, Rob. And I've done a little damage at some bars before. They know me up in certain
shot
places.
O'clock.
Sometimes it's all sometimes
it's shot o'clock.
Yeah, that should be the name of the shot as well, you know.
Yeah.
But I'm very happy to be here talk about Claim to Fame. I do love this show. Like Maggie was saying, this is great. Y'all are great, and the show is amazing. And I don't think anybody could have guessed that 3 seasons in, this would be one of my favorite strategy shows on TV.
Yeah, it got a little disjointed in that we missed a week last week that they did expanded DNC coverage. So we ended up with 2 episodes tonight, but definitely took some twists that we were not expecting, as we have a lot to break down here on this episode. What do you think the chances are we could get an Adam interview, Jenny?
Oh my gosh. I mean, at this point, I don't know. We've interviewed some great Claim to Fame personalities over the last 2 seasons. So I wouldn't rule it out. And I'm dying to know things.
Sam asks, do you want one? Yes. I wouldn't hypothetically raise the question if I didn't want one.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to live without one?
I see what you did there.
Yeah. Yeah, I would love that. Yeah. That'd be so exciting. Chappell, could you put Adam into perspective for us?
Yeah. So Adam, the winner, I think was, as you called him, an unlikely winner, but also, I guess, he was really hard to root for at times. I think that of all the Claim to Fame winners, we have a different story for each of them. In season 1, we really had the Logan and LC partnership that was just so amazing, and everybody was rooting for them almost like as a unit. And then the last season, we saw Gabriel do his thing by himself, like moving through like different alliances and bobbing and weaving. But this was a scrappy win. This was grimy. He got down. He was spying on people, stealing people's answers, writing names that he didn't even know down on his wrist just to get through from round to round. And then when it came down to it and a social game was needed, when the love and admiration of your other competitors were needed, the people you screwed over were really going to have your back. They didn't, and he still prevailed. I'm sorry. I cannot hate this man. He did
blood,
what needed
sweat,
to be
and tears.
done.
Yeah. Okay.
Maggie. Yeah, I mean, I think that it goes to show, like, the best thing you can do on the show is be underestimated. Like, that is the key to winning Claim to Fame. Like, LC was underestimated. People thought that she wasn't as sneaky, as smart, like that she wasn't as in the know. Gabriel, incredibly underestimated. Yeah. Adam, like, it doesn't matter how liked you are. People just have to not see you as much of a threat, in my opinion.
Jenny, I really thought that we had in this final 3 challenge, everybody's running around, and somehow Adam hurts himself again in the challenge.
The same thing. Like
Yes.
the same part.
He hurts himself again. And I mean, in this man, we've seen him like eating things, like broken things from the blender. Like he's an accident waiting to happen. But he gets hurt again. And I'm like, oh, you know what? This is going to be the thing that he is going to finally get sympathy. This was brilliant because now they all were plotting against him, but now they'll feel bad for him, that this is what he needs. They did not feel bad for him.
No.
It
They
didn't
gave him
matter.
nothing still.
But Rob, it didn't matter because even at the point that Adam got injured, and the only thing that could have screwed him at that moment is if he was completely taken out of the challenge, fully medevaced, could not win, could not continue. Because at that point, despite the fact that no one was helping him and no one had any sympathy for him, Mackenzie and Hud had already dug their own grave and handed this man the win. And he had all of the information he needed already. He didn't need anyone. So this is why I will say a couple episodes seemed like a wild way that this could, how could we get to the end with Adam winning? He's gonna need to rely on the help of the returning people, and they're all gonna be bitter. But we discounted Adam, and despite the fact that he only stayed in the game at points because of the help of others, he did give him his flowers. He did figure out 2 people, mostly by himself, on his own, with no help of anyone else. And he, whether, it was because Hud and Mackenzie kind of screwed themselves by going after each other, won the challenge fair and square and put him in a situation where he could guess. Like, he didn't need anyone anymore. That's impressive. He reinvented the way the game is played.
Well, but Jenny, that's what I'm saying. He was underestimated. They were like, we're going after each other because there's no way that he'll know who we are. Like, he doesn't know anything. He can't ever know anything. So why would we waste our time trying to get Adam out when this person, Hud and Mackenzie, are like, I've been working with them. They're smart. They're going to figure me out. Like, it really, like I'm saying, the underestimation is the key here. But it's the key.
Yeah, they identified their GOAT. They're like, if I get to the end with him, I win. And they were wrong.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, it is wild because he did know everything. I mean, that was the thing about him where it was like, oh, he's a dummy. He thinks that Little Richard is, and he had all sorts of other bad ideas. And he was like, all these like harebrained plans, and they were all bad. And I think that they didn't think that he could put it all together by the end.
And you know what? It's weird because they didn't even have the right answers at the end. Like, they didn't know his claim to fame. They were begging the jury basically to help them. Like, please just tell me anything. Whereas he is walking around here with both of their information, just chilling. Immediately
Accurate.
caught on to the cougar clue, figured out Trace Atkins. I just knew he was going to say the wrong name. And, so for me I was
too.
like, at least this is the person with the most information at the end. Low-key, he deserves to win. Give it to him.
Now, Jenny, was he just then in those final moments just so overconfident where he was then just telling people clues to who he was because he knew he was going to guess both times?
I was screaming, but then I had to think about it because I was like, what is this man doing? But also it's so hard to say because like you said, Rob, there were points in the season where he would get so fixated on an idea that like he only saw what he wanted to see. It was not correct. So, but then there were other times where he was really good at putting things together. And even some of like his harebrained, ideas that he had at least like things to back it up.
I think once he drank the clue, I think that really changed.
That changed it all. The blender. I don't know. HUD helped him out again, I guess, with blending up that clue. I think that at that point, I was freaking out at first because even until the point where he says that he's going to guess Mackenzie, I was like, what a wild, unpredictable player, there is still a non-zero chance that he is filled with some sort of confidence and is like, these people don't know me, I'm gonna make her guess me. Let's do this a little like unorthodox. But no, I think that at that point he knew he had both of them figured out. He knew he was in a position where he was going to be able to guess both of them, and he knew everyone was against him. He knew people were trying to lead him down the wrong path. I think he just wanted to have a little fun and flex to his buddies. I think that's what he's doing. But again, hard to say with Adam.
Who knows? The man had a
that's why I have to talk to him.
Head injury as well that day.
Yeah, like did they give him drugs at the hospital?
And I also am like, I have to say, the reason that Adam stayed in that episode with Naomi was because of HUD. Like HUD has to be kicking himself. You know, he's my presumed layup here really got the best of me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So badly this season, I wanted to have Jesse Lopez come on the podcast as HUD.
I need them side by side.
Yeah. I mean,
is it too late now?
No, definitely not. I thought HUD might have had a chance, and then I realized, no, the prophecy has already been written. This is our Jesse Lopez of the season. I was just waiting on his downfall. I was not expecting the showmance. Was not expecting that.
Is Adam the Gabler?
I think he's
so funny.
The Adam Gabler. Yeah.
Phil said this earlier today. Because I was saying this was like a Survivor. Like this season, I was trying to figure out like how, I don't know. It felt very Survivor. Because I said to Phil, I was like, I love an absurd ending. This almost feels like Chris Underwood winning. Like, you know what I mean? Like just, I love when there's a finale and a winner that is just laughing. Like you're just laughing about how crazy it is. And Phil, he said he's like Gabler. So I honestly think the comparison is
Adam. Do not call Adam like that.
he was in the water.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but he was like the opposite of Gabler in that Gabler, you know, in the beginning of his season was like very high profile, and then Gabler's okay. And now I'm going to go under the radar.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to hide. Adam was never hidden. He lived rent free in the heads of the players all season long.
Yeah.
They were obsessed with him. They were trying to get him out at every turn. And nobody had ever heard of Michael Bolton before.
Which is wild. Which is wild. There have been some big names on this show, and there have been some smaller names. And Michael Bolton he's a massive name. But I don't know, Rob, I was listening to your criteria about like celebrities that are super well known. What'd you call them? And then like you were like ranking them. Like you have your international big celebrities, and then you got like smaller tiers of celebrities. Michael Bolton's somewhere in that middle range.
Yeah.
He's a name.
Yeah. Tell us that you're the youngest person on the panel. So, like, what is your knowledge of Michael Bolton?
None.
Have you ever heard the name of Michael Bolton before?
I have heard the name Michael Bolton before.
Had you heard When a Man Loves a Woman?
Yes, but I honestly,
you wouldn't have known it was Michael Bolton.
No, I would have thought probably like I put him sort of in the same category of like, and I could be totally wrong, like time in whatever, but like to me, he reads like Bob Seger-esque, you know, like in that air, like I have like a blind spot sort of there. No, I don't know Michael Bolton.
Lonely Island, Maggie.
I'm telling you, I do not know.
One of his greatest
down the street.
Bob Seger and Michael Bolton probably are both like soft rock artists if you had that station on, but I think it's a little bit of a different style of
adult
music.
Alternative.
Yeah, Maggie, what about Trace Adkins or John Mellencamp? Either of those.
I know John Mellencamp.
Okay, thank God.
I very deeply know John Mellencamp. Love John Mellencamp.
Mm-hmm.
But no, Trace Adkins, no. I've heard the name, but I wouldn't have come up with that myself at all. And the clues, like I have, again, very big blind spot, country music like that. I have so much pop culture knowledge, but my biggest blind spot is country music.
Maggie, same. But if you hear a song called Honky Tonk Badonkadonk, that lives in your brain for the end of time. And that's the only reason I know him.
I know that song, but I didn't know it was Trace Adkins.
Mm-hmm.
Does he also sing Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy?
I don't know. I really only know him from The Celebrity Apprentice.
Why do I know
That
these
is my
things?
knowledge of Trace Adkins.
Which is great, which is really, really fun. Because a lot of Celebrity Apprentice like references in his clue, in the final billboard, like they were really pushing that.
I knew Mark Anthony. You know, like, like I'm
Yes.
telling you, I knew like a lot of people who probably to like somebody older would be like, how do you know that? But I did not know Michael Bolton.
You have to go watch 1999's Office Space, Maggie. It'll tell you
I
everything you need
do.
to know about Maggie.
I do. Like,
Michael
when
Bolton.
he popped up the picture, I was like, never seen that man in my life.
But
Sorry
doesn't
for
he
that
look
man.
so much like him though? That's why we were able to figure it out so early, Rob. Because as soon as the lightning bolt came up, and the editing clearly showed that he was concerned about that, and we talked about Michael Bolton, and we realized he looks exactly like him. It's wild to me that he's not his dad, that he's his uncle, because they do really look similar when you see them side by side, like the photos at the end.
Yeah. Disappointing we did not get a Michael Bolton like Zoom call.
Yeah.
We got a Michael
Yeah.
Bolton like notes app.
Yeah, they said that he recently had a tumor removed, and so
That
I'm
might have
assuming
been
he was
why.
probably
Yeah.
still doing recovery or something like that.
Mhm.
But yeah, I was very sad because I thought like now we get the big reveal, you know, and this is the winner. So you want the winner to have that moment. And also that's my favorite thing that they've done about Claim to Fame this season. I love the finale in comparison to what the finales have been. I love this like a lot more. I still think it could be better, but I do love the finale. But I also love the videos and the appearances from their loved ones, because I mean, this is Claim to Fame. It's a good strategic show, but we're here because we know these celebrities, and so it's fun to see them and see how much they care about their loved ones.
Yeah. Did you notice they put up a commercial for seeking more contestants for Claim to Fame?
Make it happen.
Do celebrities celebrities' relatives sit at home and watch Claim to Fame? Like, Maggie, do you think it's like, if you're a celebrity's relative, are you like waiting on your turn? I'm up next. This is something that you aspire to do?
If I was a celebrity, I would be texting my cousins, being like, "Get your ass on the show."
Don't give us that money.
This is good PR.
If you're a celebrity, maybe you're not watching. But if you are just a relative of a celebrity, I'm sure that a lot of these people, I know that sometimes they were like sought out through casting or whatever, but I have to believe that at least now that we've done 3 seasons, that there are some people sitting at home watching Claim to Fame. It's hosted by, you know, the Jonas brothers, Kevin and Franklin.
Yes.
So it's not like it's, you know, a random show with, you know, no one they've heard of or anything. I have to think that there are some people that are watching the show and they're like, this is for me. And I hope they are, because I need more.
It's also like not trashy. You know, like it's not like they're not like making out and like getting wasted. Like it's very like
they might be getting wasted.
Yeah, but not like obviously on the show, you know?
It's not part of the show.
Yeah, it's not like they're doing Love Island with famous people's relatives. Like it's a lot of these people are adults with families that come on the show. So I think that there is a level to it that it's not well, there have been some people who have embarrassed their celebrity relatives on this show. But I'm thinking of one person in particular.
And we still want that.
Exactly.
We still want that.
But I think it's one of those things where, you know, if you were a celebrity relative, you would be like, I'm going to do this show. Is that okay with you? People will be like, yeah, go win your money. You know, like that's exciting.
Yeah. Okay. We saw, it looked like over these 2 hours that HUD and Mackenzie were getting closer. Jenny, at any point were you thinking that we could get our Claim to Fame showmance going?
Well, here's the thing. I'm waiting for the update on whether it became a thing, because our beloved Hugo and Olivia, who we recently spoke to, Rob, that we didn't see any of their showmance begin on the show. It was all after they were eliminated where things really got sparked. So I was waiting for this actually, because one of the things I remembered from one of maybe the premiere was there was like a montage of people talking about HUD and how he was attractive. And I remember specifically Mackenzie commenting on how she thought he was cute. And I was like, why show that? But they also showed Jill talking about it, but Jill was gone like the second episode, and Mackenzie was the one person left, and we saw them working together. And I was like, I felt like that needed to get fleshed out somehow in the narrative, because otherwise, like, what a weird thing to include in the beginning. I just didn't know how it would turn out, but we got a little like montage of them flirting. We saw like Danny and Shane apparently being like they're in love.
Can I say something though?
Yes.
I don't like that the editors or the producers only asked Mackenzie about it.
Oh,
I put that in my notes too.
Yes.
They didn't even ask HUD. I was like, no.
Exactly.
Why are
Don't
you
let 'em
making
off the
her seem thirsty or something? Like,
Yeah.
he was just as flirty with her, if not more. I felt like she was like reciprocating his vibes, you know? It was
He
very
said
much
you're gonna have to
reciprocal to me.
carry me down the hall. Like, definitely
Yes.
felt mutually flirty. Yeah, I
Yes.
don't know why.
Maybe
was
he
just
had somebody at
stonewalling
home and
them.
he didn't say anything in the diary room.
Ooh.
He said, I gotta go break this off.
Does he have a dog with somebody?
Oh,
no.
it's a thing now.
Mhm.
He said his name is HUD Money Mellencamp. Okay, this man is out in the streets. This man is for everybody right now. He said, "I'm not ready to settle down." That's what they did. They spared him an embarrassing moment where he's like, "But a good damn, I'm not trying to have nothing serious right now."
He did ask for his phone at one point, and I think that they maybe were trying to say, he needs to look something up, but it might be I gotta text someone and be like, yeah, this is if I come back hanging out with somebody else. Sorry.
I thought they looked good together though. I was really
Yeah.
They're very cute. Yeah.
I ship it. I
I ship
really hope we
too.
get an Instagram update and they're like, surprise.
Yeah, because I mean they're both sort of like in the music industry in terms of like would be fun.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll
I
see.
think it would be lovely. But yeah, I know you're so right, Maggie, because they really didn't go to HUD at all with it. And I just feel like the vibe felt very mutual. It wasn't like, when we hear Danny talking like they're in love, he's not saying, "Oh, Mackenzie's obsessed with HUD."
Yes.
Like, it's mutual. So I need.
Let's go back to hour one of this 2 hours of Claim to Fame because we saw Shane go out. And for so much of this, Shane looked like somebody who could potentially have gone the distance. People were not able to piece together who he was related to. And then, Jenny, tonight, it all falls apart for Shane.
Yeah. And this is why I had such a hard time when we were doing our attempted power rankings in our last podcast, because it can happen that quick. You get the clue and you get in a situation at the final four where anyone can be the guesser. People are freaking out. They got to get you before you get me. I mean, I think that most people would have liked Adam to go at 4. But the reality is that no one had anything concrete on Adam, and they did. They were able to put it together. Now, if Shane had won the challenge and was able to protect his own clue, maybe a very different situation. I think that was his one thing that he needed to happen. But did we ever see how he did in the challenge? We just know he got second place.
We know he did not do as well as Mackenzie.
Somewhere between 4 and 7, or I guess 5 and 6. So he got 5 or 6. It's tough to see, because I think he had information, but did he even know Mackenzie?
No, I don't think he ever got it, right?
Adam, no. I think Adam got it. I think
he was going to guess Bret Michaels.
Yeah, for that. Well, for Adam, yeah, Adam. He was definitely gonna guess for Adam.
Yeah, so I don't think he ever got to Trace Adkins.
Only one person said Mackenzie's relative's name, and that was Adam. He was the only one who could have got her, and they were hoping that he would say a wrong name.
Adam did say Clay Aiken as well.
And he was close. Like first off, he's like very confused. He's like, well, 6'6". There's not that many people. We got Clay Aiken.
Yeah.
Famously 6'6", Clay Aiken.
Is
90s
Clay
R&B
Aiken
singer.
even country?
He's
no.
He's
I wouldn't
sort of
call
like
Clay. I don't
I
really
wouldn't call
know.
him country. I don't know what you would
No.
call him.
Clay Aiken doesn't even like make albums anymore. He was the first, like the second runner-up of the second season of
Well,
he
you
was,
don't
al-
hear
he
me.
was
Idol.
also
You don't need
runner-up
to be
of
active.
Celebrity Apprentice.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Maybe.
okay.
And see, that would have, if we had heard Adam say, okay, well, the Celebrity Apprentice clue, I know Clay Aiken was also on Celebrity Apprentice. Like, but no one really talked about that piece. It was like thrown at us a million times, but no one was ever talking about that part of the clue. But yeah.
Can I say something about just like claim to fame in general?
Yes.
And something that I find so interesting, and apologies if you've like really discussed this before, but I think that it's so fascinating how people's brains work as humans, especially about like who people are related to based on the way that they look, specifically when it comes to race. Because I think that if without that wine bottle clue, no one was ever going to say Marlon Brando for Shane. Ever. Like and it's same with Miguel, with Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
Like people even like I think LC, because she didn't really like she didn't look that much like Kiki, people were much more thrown off by that. You know, I think that there is something really interesting there about people getting sort of one track minded, thinking like, oh, if it's somebody who's like even a parent or a sibling, it can't be this type of person because of their race. I think that's
why
really
it's great if you can. Yeah, sorry. I was gonna say, which is why if you know that people are going to make those connections, use it to your advantage, which is why I loved Miguel's strategy, knowing that if he could lean into, you know, having like a really Latin sounding name and all of that, like that would steer people away. So yeah, we've seen that be a thing on several seasons now, and it really does get people tripped up. But they're also like have, you know, they're like the biggest clue that they have is just seeing people the entire time they have things on the wall. So I'm sure that sometimes they're just like trying to look at people and be like, are there any features? But the thing is that some of these people really do look like their relatives when you see them side by side, like even Hud and John Mellencamp. But yeah, it is very interesting.
Can I say that Clay Aiken was a finalist on the Celebrity Apprentice, lost to Arsenio Hall.
As he should have.
Okay.
Look, do your thing, Arsenio.
Clay, you'll get him next time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
Well, these black men taking Clay to hell. Your first Ruben, then Arsenio Hall. Clay, hang it up.
Just
Flat
stop
screen.
there. Yeah.
Give it up, Clay. Clay Atkins.
Maybe his relative will be on season 4 and they will lose. They'll get second.
Yeah.
Maybe.
To somebody else's relative.
Okay.
If only they were invisible.
We finally get the reveal that Shane is related to Mr. Mumbles, of course. Never heard that name before.
I've never
Mr.
heard them
Mumbles.
call him Mr. Mumbles. They made that up. I Googled it. I didn't
The
see
nicknames.
nothing.
I don't think
The
Mr.
nicknames are
Time,
bad.
Love, and Tenderness is a real nickname either.
Most of these nicknames, I've like, where are they? What is the point of this category?
Is my father's name.
Rob, what do you mean? You've never said, hey, I want to go to that Mr. Time, Love, and Tenderness concert.
Mr. Time, Love, and Tenderness. I'm going to Google that if that's
The only
even a thing.
Mr. nickname that is acceptable is if we get a relative of Pitbull and we get Mr. Worldwide. That I will accept. That is a legitimate nickname.
Yeah,
Ooh, that
so
would be
the only
fun, Jenny.
the only place I guess no, it's okay. They call this known informally as Mr. Time, Love, and Tenderness. Michael Bolton himself on Cameo, his description calls himself, or Cameo says Mr. Time, Love, and Tenderness is here. Who wants to win for
count?
Mother's Day?
What do you mean? Does it count? You can name yourself. You think we named Pitbull Mr. Worldwide?
You have a point. But maybe someone else called him that first, and he's like, "I like the sound of that."
Ain't nobody
like
call him
that.
that.
Mr.
Oh,
Time,
wow.
Love, and Tenderness is here.
I am telling you, that man, I have never seen him before.
Mhm.
You need to see him with his long hair.
He resembles Joey from like the Cut It Out from Full House more to me than anything.
Wow, Dave Coulier.
Dave
Well,
Coulier. In
yeah.
that picture, you just
Connected.
posted
We
that.
had John
Tony
Stamos already
Danza.
this
Or
season.
sorry, yeah, John.
And they wouldn't have even known each other. They would have been like, "What? John Stamos?
Yeah.
You had a relative here?
Yeah, nothing coming up for Mr.
Mr. Mumbles." I didn't
Mr.
see it, but maybe you could
Yeah.
find it. I didn't see it.
I do
Yeah.
unfortunately think
for the nickname.
Marlon Brando's nickname is just Brando. You know,
Mhm.
like
Yeah.
I think that you can't just be like, oh, his nickname Brando.
Yeah, I see some random like articles where they refer to him as
couple,
Mr.
a little bit,
Mumbles. Every now and then, a
Not a
Tumblr,
well-known nickname.
post here and there. Yeah, nothing crazy.
Yes. Okay. So we ultimately got his wine cellar clue, which ends up being what? Hollywood icon who played Italian kingpin role.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so simple. I mean, it was like you
Yeah.
just go. I said, "Oh, this is the clue y'all want to." Now we get this clue. He's so lucky. He's so lucky that nobody pulled this clue earlier because they would have been got him out of here.
Mm-hmm.
That's why, I really feel like his only protection would have been getting it himself and stealing it away from, because that's what would have happened, right? So this is something that was confusing to me. As I understand it, in normal rounds, you can't pull your own wine clue. The only reason that Adam could have potentially pulled his own clue that 1 week was because he won with HUD is what I believe is
that
the rule.
correct? Is that the
Apparently, I believe
I
that's
don't
what
know.
Where are you getting this from?
I can't remember. I was reading it online. I don't know.
What?
There was discussion about it. I believe that's why people haven't done it.
Yeah,
is
because
like-
that's the game-breaking move of
But
like go to the cellar, like take your clue, put it in the blender.
Yeah, because I guess that was where you could have done it, was because it wasn't just him taking his own clue, that it was HUD as well, so that he's also getting information about
Because HUD could
someone,
have got information
because it's
from
not
him, right.
completely gone, it's going
Yeah.
to somebody.
Somebody's getting
But
it right.
I have to think, like, when you get down to 4 and the only clue that's left is Shane, like, it's not like, oh, we'll give it to whoever got second place. Like, we're not going to do that. So that was pretty much the only way. But I think again, I can't remember where I read this, but I believe that is the rule, and that's why people haven't done it.
Wild.
Because it could be a great strategy. If you think that you're just going to be able to figure things out the rest, or that your greatest power is, again, being underestimated and not having anyone get any information on you as much as possible, then that's a great strategy. And I think more people would do it.
Yeah. Shane had the like hidden identity going for him, but Shane did not know many people. In fact, did he know anybody that was left in the final 3, even had he advanced?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah,
that's, and I mean, ultimately Shane will lose because he falls into last place on this challenge. It's just, I don't think it's his strong suit, the pop culture stuff. It just doesn't feel like it, because that challenge, the musical chairs connection challenge or whatever, Shane is not going to do well on that challenge. It just is like, I feel like he's not as tapped in as somebody like Mackenzie, who was bragging about her pop culture knowledge, and he's probably not as scrappy as somebody like Adam. Adam tried to tackle HUD in the challenge, like literally, like he pissed HUD off. That was wild.
Yeah.
They said he does too much. He was trying to do too much.
That's what Chris Christopherson said to him.
Exactly.
Also
and
wild.
he's not wrong.
Maggie, do you know who Chris Christopherson is?
Come on. She's not going to know that.
I'm a fossil. I'm a fossil.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm that much younger than you, Chappelle.
I know, right? But he's the guy who looks like
all
the
it takes
other
is
guy.
a couple years.
Yeah, exactly.
Who is he?
He's a singer, but I always get him mixed up with Jeff Bridges in my mind.
Yeah. I feel like he's more of an actor than a singer.
Both. Yeah. I look at him as a country singer, but that's because of like Texas.
Well,
but I'm sure he's an actor as well.
According to Google, they say American singer, songwriter, and actor. But singer songwriter was listed before actor, whatever that means.
Not to
He's
make this all about me, but
do it.
My middle name is Christopher
With a K.
with a K.
Yeah.
Wow.
That is a fun fact about
Because
you. I always remember this.
Yes, and the reason why was, I guess, my mom saw something with Chris Christopherson and liked that name.
Just thought that like the use of the K was a
Yeah,
fun.
why not?
And the Fs?
We're just vibing. No, I know. It's just not the Fs.
Okay, I'm
Rob,
like the F's
you
is
have
really
a
what takes-
Yeah.
You have a long name. Robert Christopher Cesternino. That's a lot of letters for you to
Yeah.
have to write
Yeah.
when you were little.
Yep.
Mhm.
Christopherson. Cesternino.
Yeah.
Is that the first time you've ever told this on a podcast? That's
Probably
the lore
not.
behind
I think I probably
Christopher?
every single story that I have, I've probably already have told on some podcast,
At some
but
point. 'Cause
not
yeah.
recently.
I
Not
always
recently.
remembered that it was like spelled with a K, and I was like, that's fun. I
Yes.
wonder
That is
where that
fun.
came from.
Yes.
So now I know. From
So
Chris Christopherson.
yes, I want to say the movie that that my mom was. I think the movie A Star Is Born. I think was the movie that was inspiring to her of the name.
Ah, Lady Gaga.
Yes. Which yeah, maybe I should
You're
watch
so
at some
young,
point.
Rob.
Yes. Okay.
It's not a movie like less than 10 years
Yes. Yes. Well, look. Look that. Time flies. Okay. And then also, just to continue making it all about me, Jenny, have I told the story about how I went to Michael Bolton's dad's house?
old. If you've told it, it was not to me. And
Chappelle,
not
do you
on
know this?
Podcast.
This isn't your survivor trip, is it?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, I
And-
remember. Yeah, I remember the story.
Yes.
Yeah.
What?
Michael Bolton's dad has a house in Panama, and I guess must somehow know Mark Burnett or somebody involved with the survivor. And in 2003, the Chappell tribe, all six of us, lived at Michael Bolton's dad's house in Panama, and apparently he was very into like scuba diving or snorkeling. And so Michael Bolton bought his dad a house in Panama, and that's where we stayed for 6 or 7 days while we waited for Survivor
Question.
All-Stars to start.
Yeah,
We
I
need to
remember
talk
that.
to Adam now so that you can tell him
Yeah.
this. That's
Be like,
wild.
Yeah, does like
grandpa's house.
Yeah, I don't know if it's his grandpa because it's
It
let's see.
is.
It,
It's
yeah.
your mother's
It's
brother.
Michael
How
Bolton's
that-
dad.
Yeah, I'm not. It
Yeah.
depends on which sibling, right?
No,
No,
if it's his
No.
mother's
No, because if
brother,
it's,
Okay.
it's
if it's
definitely
Yeah,
a
does your
his
grandpa
mom's
still have a house in
brother, then that's
Panama?
his mom.
Mhm.
yeah.
That's
Yeah.
his mom.
And then
Yeah.
also, I'm pretty sure that Terry Dietz had sex with his wife in a bed at that house.
I remember you
Oh
saying that.
my god! Look, turn on the Bolton. Let's get the good, time, love, and tender or whatever.
See, right.
Get
He
the
gets a conjugal visit.
Yeah.
Call the ambulance and change the sheets.
In Panama,
Sing,
Panama.
sing.
Panama. Okay. All right. So Shane, good sport. Came
took it
close.
well.
Took it well. What was the plan that Shane wanted to have happen?
He wanted Adam to take out Mackenzie,
Uh-huh.
which
Mhm.
makes me wonder. Did he also have some of the same tips as because I know that Adam kind of got to where he got because Shane shared the clue to help like reinforce it. But did Adam say, I know who it is because blank, 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 this is who it is? Or did Adam keep his cards close to, because like, I would love to know that because he wanted Adam to guess Mackenzie. And again, if he thinks that he's right, that's better than him guessing. Because if he's wrong, like that's not
problem
great.
is-
And then Adam's out too.
The problem is though, Jenny, he's been wrong all season. So like
Mhm.
why would Shane take him seriously? If he's
But
like, no, I'm
also
telling
it's
you.
kind of like a win-win too, because if he doesn't know Adam, worst case scenario, again, someone's wrong about Mackenzie and they go
Mhm.
home and that's someone he didn't know anyway. So I
Yeah.
think for him that was probably he definitely didn't want Mackenzie guessing.
Yeah.
Because he knew that Mackenzie was going to have his clue.
Mm-hmm.
So it definitely made sense for him. Now, I think HUD got a little selfish, he got a little wild on this.
He wanted
I don't think
the layup.
Yeah. We're at the final four, sir. Like
he wanted the layup for a person that he didn't even know the name of. Like, he's like, no, anybody but Adam. That's my layup. What are you doing, Mackenzie?
He wanted
Shane. Shane was his layup. He felt like
still wrong.
No, he had Marlon Brando. He was like, he was like doing like Godfather.
I thought he was trying to stop Mackenzie from doing the layup when they thought they had Adam, and Mackenzie goes up there and she guesses wrong. Well, she was gonna guess wrong. I thought that's when he was trying to stop the layup.
He didn't want her to guess
Shane.
Marlon Brando.
Because he was like, okay, we figured out it's Marlon Brando. Now let's keep that.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But it's just like just get someone else.
This is the time to use the layup. You know what I'm saying? Like, if that's like he's saying save it, but if I'm Mackenzie and I gotta guess, it's layup time, because you just gotta get through 2 more rounds. Like,
right, because he wasn't guessing. Like, I don't think he would have cared if Mackenzie would have just gone home. Yeah,
it's easy for you to say.
And
like, don't waste it. Just go out. Just guess wrong.
Yeah, get it wrong.
Leave him for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, HUD has to realize that he's trying to tell her to do things that are very, very obviously only beneficial to him, because the other part is not just her knowing that it's like who Shane is, and that's a layup for her as well, that Shane is the one with her clue, and that even if he doesn't have it figured out yet, what if he's in a guessing position, tomorrow? Like, what if she had gone along with HUD, made Adam the guesser, and let's just say Adam, I don't know, let's say Adam was wrong, and he says Clay Aiken, and he goes home. And then Shane wins the final 3 challenge, and he, you don't even have a chance to do the layup. So I just think, I've loved HUD so much, but I think that he got a little sloppy in the end game. It might have been the drinks he was having.
Maybe. Okay. Maybe too many of the Chappelle and melon shots. Okay. All right. Let's then go to, all right, we get to our final hour of Claim to Fame with it. Again, HUD and Mackenzie. I'm like, is HUD drunk here when he slips up and reveals the HUD melon shot?
I think that they just in the house hang out and they're not thinking, these people say even in Big Brother, it's so hard to have a facade, and that's what you're doing in there, to not be able to share who you actually are. And if he did, if they were really vibing and flirting, I'm sure he's not thinking anything of that. It was like how Diedrich slipped and said Mr. Jackson, it's like a true just slip of the tongue. You don't even realize.
Maggie,
I gasped though. I was like,
could Claim to Fame stand to benefit from an AI instigator?
I think everybody could stand to benefit from an AI.
Wouldn't it be great if the hologram was also hey?
I find the AI instigator and the AI arena to be quite successful, so I'm all for it.
Pro AI in reality television competition. Maybe that's it. But
it's really changed some minds, I think, the AI instigator. Okay,
I think they could have done AI holograms of the relatives they couldn't get.
They could, or Marlon Brando, Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
They did it for Tupac, Chappelle.
Yeah. When they start having the hologram Michael Jackson concerts, I will be there. So make no mistake. Line me up. Go ahead and purchase my ticket. I don't care if I have to sell something to get it. I will.
Diedrich. I'm so impressed with you. You made me so proud.
I would have cried if Michael Jackson started talking on that screen. I went to a Janet Jackson concert not too long ago, and he pops up on the screen for a split second while she's doing Scream, and I screamed. It was like he was there. So trust, some people just can't handle this. I would have freaked out standing next to Dedrick. Once I realized he was Michael Jackson's relative, I would have been no good. And honestly, when you see all of them in the finale standing next to each other and just seeing how much star power they all are related to, it's a little intimidating. When Shane comes out and they're like Marlon Brando, I said, you're standing next to Marlon Brando's grandson. That's so cool. But he's standing next to Michael Jackson's nephew. So, it is what it is.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. Okay. Chappell, what do you think's in a Hud Melon shot?
Well, Melon probably. It didn't
liqueur.
sound like the best shot. I was like, I guess if your claim to fame is John Cougar Mellencamp, you kind of have to lean into the melon of it all. All his clues were just like melon.
I think melon and whiskey,
season.
maybe like a melon liqueur
What?
and like a whiskey or something.
Yeah.
It sounds terrible.
The food item I always associate John Mellencamp with is sucking on chili dogs outside the
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, wasn't that one of the clues?
That was. I think that was something they had to eat, right? It was like a cube of chili dog, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So, day 39 breakfast being made by Adam. What kind of maniac is this where that he, like, so many hijinks with the blender this season? First of all, who uses the blender without the top on it?
Adam.
And then also it's like taking like a wooden spoon and like jamming it into like a running blender.
I think his wife makes breakfast usually.
You think so?
That pancake was a little charred, but
yes,
I would have ate
A
it.
little.
It wasn't. And it wasn't.
I'd ate
It
it.
was charred. There were splinters in it.
I'd have ate it. I don't care. I was looking at it. I said, "Ooh, it's a little crispy and burnt, a little burnt, but I can salvage that
he's
pancake."
outside.
Also,
He's
who
outside.
makes pancakes in the blender?
That's his problem.
Mix it.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's why I think that, like, yes, if you really want to mix up the pancake batter so there's no like little flour chunks or whatever in it, sure, use the blender. Don't know why the wooden spoon needed to be involved. Don't know why there was no lid. I truly think the only times that he has ever interacted with a blender were the 2 times we saw on this season of television when he ate the clue out of the blender and then tried to make pancakes.
Blender got so much action. Yeah.
So much.
Okay. We got to see everybody come back. Jenny, who were you most excited to see?
Danny. Even though he was only gone.
Danny did nothing.
Danny is my favorite.
But he had
didn't
like
get enough
no
content.
screen time whatsoever.
I know.
Yeah.
It was nice to see everyone. That is my one gripe about the season is I felt like it was a sprint at the beginning, and then there were people that I just felt like we could have slowed it down a little bit.
Who was John Stamos's niece? Jill. She also didn't even get to talk on the reunion.
No, I was very happy to see my girl Naomi back. I was like, robbed goddess, queen. She deserved.
Naomi.
I took issue with.
Smug as ever, wrong as ever.
Loud and wrong. Loud and wrong.
Queen. Hype her up.
Defending. Okay, well then be wrong. Like,
Go
girl,
home.
you
Then
are
Liz,
wrong.
I was
go home.
so mad. I was so
I don't care.
mad because it's like, it's one thing to be wrong and just be so confident about it, but it was the fact that she had the audacity to be like, God, you guys don't know anything. Like, just so aggressively rude to these other people.
Mackenzie's like, but who sings Jack and Diane? She's like, I don't care. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
On the billboard.
What does that have to do with anything?
She's like, I'm smart. I know Cherry Bomb. Hello?
Yeah. Is she a cougar? Like, I don't know.
Doesn't matter.
All the rest of these clues don't matter because I figured it out 18 weeks ago with one word. Duh.
I have never heard of the person she's talking about also, by the way.
Same. There's
not
a
the
movie.
name. I've heard
Not
the Runaways, but I wouldn't have known who.
She's like,
that's why it's wild to me. She had like such a specific reference, but then like she was not one of the people putting anything together about John Cougar Mellencamp.
Listen.
And was like, I don't know. That's why I feel like she just got so fixated on what she had decided was the truth and wasn't even listening to anyone.
No.
Like, I don't think she heard Mackenzie say Jack and Diane.
She didn't care.
No.
Bring her back. Bring her back again. Let her do it again.
It was wonderful television, but I was infuriated. I was so frustrated. I was like, why are you being so rude to these women?
Jenny, I also was frustrated, but then I was like, but Naomi, you're going to look so dumb.
Knowing the truth, like it was like kind of like get ready to eat the humble pie.
Yeah.
We'll be ready to serve it.
So we also then saw some folks come back who had an axe to grind with Adam. Specifically Miguel, Diedrich. They were like going to make sure Adam lost.
Okay, Miguel, Adam didn't mean to make you lose. Adam was just not right.
Say it.
Like, I'm sorry that you both.
It.
Yeah, I'm sorry that you both couldn't rub your two brain cells together and come up with something other than Little Richard. But I don't think that's Adam's fault, Miguel. You didn't have a better guess.
He wasn't trying to lead him astray.
Yes.
It wasn't like ill-intentioned. It was that Adam and honestly, I loved Miguel and I was very excited to see him again. But the more he talked about his reasons for being mad at Adam, I was like, I don't think you have a case here, sir. You guys talked shit about Adam and how he knew nothing. Then why did you believe what he said and run with it?
Was there not Michael Jackson clues at that time when he chose to go with Little Richard?
They'd been talking about the Wiz.
Yeah, they were talking about the Wiz and all that stuff. Yeah. I mean, the Jacksons, they're a household name where I come from, and so I recognized this man immediately. I said, "Oh, he's one of them," because they all look the same, and I knew his name wasn't Dedrick because none of them have black names, and so I was like, "Listen, that ain't him. Sorry, that's definitely that's the one you need to go for." So when he said Little Richard, I was like, "What are you trying to do here? What are you trying to do here?" It gave me the same vibe as Naomi. Like, you are so wrong. You're so wrong, and you just. The obvious, like, there are layups on the board, but you have fixated on this one thing. And Little Richard is very, very famous. I don't know what Naomi's talking about with Cherie Curry. She would be the least famous person we've ever had on this show to date if she was the one who was on there. I mean, there are other members of that same band that are way more famous. But to sit here and go Little Richard over Michael Jackson is like, you wanted to lose. You did. You wanted to risk it. You were trying to be fancy. Don't blame Adam for that. I think they were mad at Adam because he's just not the best to live with. We saw pretty much everybody get into at least some type of altercation with Adam. Even if it was just a little spat, it happened fast. And then he moved on to the next person.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think that that's a lot of it is that, I think that Adam just is just different and it was not working for him. His way of communicating with people at times was not good. And I think that anytime that he perceived that people were against him or didn't understand him, he would get really frustrated, and the way that he would express his frustration wasn't always great and didn't go over well. But I think also the anger towards him was also just like, you hate when someone you think doesn't deserve to be there beats you. You know what I mean? Like, we see this in Survivor and Big Brother all the time, how like someone isn't even responsible for you not being in the game anymore, but it just like frustrates them so much that someone that they don't think played as well as them got further than them. And I felt like that was a lot of the energy that people were showing towards Adam, or being like, what are you even doing here? Like, you only got as far because we helped you, which is why I was very happy with the way that he won, because he did do some work for himself at the end. If he had just stumbled completely ass backwards into the win completely with none of his own merit, I think that'd be a different story. That's why I'm like really happy with how it turned out, because he's like, okay, yeah, I was wrong at times, but so were you guys. And then I was right when it mattered the most.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. We got to see some of these people really try to stick it to Adam in this final three competition. And Adam was doing so well, but then we saw people trying to purposely sabotage him. Specifically, Diedrich was giving him bad intel in the stick your hand in the box.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We saw them find, and really, like, they didn't really say this in the episode, Jenny, but wasn't it kind of Miguel's fault that Adam got seriously injured?
Was it his fault?
I mean,
Chappelle's nodding no.
No. I think
No.
Adam made his bed and now he has to lie in it. This whole season,
Yeah.
we're being
He didn't
very
have to do
complimentary
that.
to him, but this whole season he has been combative and also lazy. He has been just like he will get mad at you for not just giving you his clue. Like legit, be like,
he's not
why don't
lazy
you just
when
give
he
it to me?
goes to the slip and slide though.
Right.
Yeah.
And so because of that, they didn't want to work with him. Thus, Miguel tanked his game. Thus, he had to go and pull a Bruce. And it's okay that happened, but I'm not blaming
Pull a
Miguel
Bruce.
because
No,
but I'm not blaming Miguel because people were tripping over themselves to help Mackenzie. They hopped in the canoe with her and was like, "Come on, girl, we got this."
Which Mackenzie?
I'm sorry, because Gracie Lynn jumps in, right? And
No,
so,
I just mean all Mackenzies on reality TV.
Yeah, people just want them to do well, I guess.
Not on Big Brother. Not on Big Brother.
Maybe.
I was like,
We'll see how
Well,
it
that's an
goes.
MJ. That's
Yeah,
an
that's
MJ.
an
That's
MJ.
not really a
That's
big
an
MJ.
I was just alluding to in the finale
Yes.
of Survivor 46. Yes.
I mean,
What
this
a
was
year
very
for
similar.
Mackenzies on reality TV.
Was this not
I just
similar?
don't think of
Somebody
Mackenzie as
completely helping
Mackenzie,
them?
but yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Mhm.
but they're just they're helping her to the point where I think Gracie Lynn hops in the boat with her and helps her
Yeah.
row. I think she walks up and Naomi just completely just gives her the answer off the top like this one. Like that there were moments and the same thing for a few of the other ones. But for Adam, nobody was willing to help him. And that's not that they're all hating on Adam. It's because Adam, they don't want you to win. And that's a flaw in your social game. And I like that the social game comes into play for Claim to Fame. I like that they're adding this because this makes it more interesting to me.
Yeah.
Which is why it's so egregious that HUD and Mackenzie squandered the opportunity of no one wanting to help Adam and everyone wanting to help them. But no, we cannot blame Miguel or anyone for Adam's injury.
but
he goes too hard on the slip and slide.
Yeah,
That's
Jenny,
him.
just to go back to what you just said, though, that do you feel like that they both felt like, okay, Adam is a dummy. We'll just make him guess first. And then to win the game, I need to crack the other. Kenzie needed to beat HUD. HUD needed to beat Mackenzie.
But they knew, I'm pretty sure, at the beginning of this challenge that the winner of the challenge gets to choose who is the guesser and who's. So if you put the power in Adam's hand, you don't get to choose how things go.
If he is a dummy, then.
Well,
he's not going to get it right.
They thought he wasn't going to get through the challenge.
Yeah,
I think that's what it was. They knew that the jury is tanking him, and so they're like, "All right, we ain't got to worry about him. I got to stop the other person who actually has a shot at beating me. The person who I think knows these answers or can, and actually going to make sense of this." Maggie's right. They just disregarded him, and
but the winner is the person whose thing stays the most covered up, and that person will be Adam. If they don't put some of the keys in his, and that's why I still cannot comprehend why they did that, because they let him, even knowing that no one was going to help him, if they spend all of their time going after each other, who's putting keys in Adam's thing? He's not doing it himself. That's how it's not a race to who wins. It's a race to who has whose keys, who has less keys or whatever.
1000%. Jenny, they should have, after doing 3 keys in each other's boxes, someone should have said,
you can
stop.
see something after a while.
They should have
gone.
They should have gone to each other and said, stop. Let's just go to Adam and then we can go back to each other. Let's get him out first.
One of us
and
needs
then
to
it's
win.
best man wins.
Rob. It's like the coconut chop. They were chopping each other, and then the person who wasn't getting chopped at all because they thought he wasn't getting the answers right. So it's like, whatever, we'll chop each other. We don't have to worry about him. And then they took themselves out of the game.
They slept on Adam, and ultimately they played themselves.
They did.
Yeah.
And I mean, they would have. That the thing is like Adam's picture was not completely, he'd only had a few filters removed or whatever. But they could see enough that the person in the photo was not wearing a bandana, which was enough for Mackenzie to realize we were saying Bret Michaels. It's probably not Bret Michaels.
Ironically,
and so, I don't know.
Yeah, Adam would be wearing an Ace Bandage bandana by the end of this. Jenny, did you think that he was going to get pulled?
I at this point I was all in on Adam's. At the
I
end
thought
of
he was
at the
out.
end of the first hour, I got a little worried because I was like, this is gonna make me super sad. But I felt edit wise, I couldn't.
You're so good at
see
this.
it.
You're too good now.
Mhm.
I just think that they wouldn't do. I think that they wouldn't have edited certain things that way if that was ultimately going to be the end of his game.
I was thinking like, oh, like he's gonna get pulled. I'm like, the story is like, was he about to do it? Was he about to? Was
Could he
Adam
have
about to
crossed
do
the
it?
finish line? Yeah.
Yeah. I
Would've
was like,
been-
what a
yeah.
shame. What a shame. Because they're like, we can't stop. Like, he's like gushing blood. We can't stop the bleeding. Chappelle, they tried to glue his head.
They tried over and over again. They said, damn, this glue is just not working, man. I think you might need stitches. He's like, what? And they're like, yeah, I'm sorry. They wrap him up and he looks like one of those like Bugs Bunny cartoons where he's got
Yeah.
like a toothache and they just like tie him up.
Yes, I was about to say he looks like he's just got wisdom tooth surgery. Like,
Oh my gosh.
Exactly.
That I
Yeah.
would love to see, like the post wisdom tooth Adam video. But
Yeah.
the thing is that like they could have pulled him from the challenge and been like, okay, like you're not out of the running to compete in claim to fame anymore, but you cannot finish this challenge. We have to go without you. He still would have won. Mackenzie and Hud would
They
still
were
just
never gonna get him.
they would be like, well,
Well,
let's just let
hold
him
on.
in.
But it
Well,
they would have been
Cameron
able to
was done at that
control who is
point.
guessing when.
yeah.
Yeah.
I also-
and they would have. Oh, go ahead, Maggie.
No. This is now sort of moving on. So
It's fine.
continue, Chappelle.
Mhm.
Oh, well, I was just gonna say I was really surprised that Adam didn't have Mackenzie and Hud guess each other first before. Like he knew both of them. Why didn't he just have like one of them guess?
But,
Do you know what I mean?
But because the
Gotta
person who would have been right controls the board
Oh.
and could have guessed
Yes.
him.
Oh, okay.
And
I didn't.
What
realize
I'm
that.
wondering is the claim to fame final challenge too overpowered? Jenny, have we seen the person who wins this challenge win the game in all 3 seasons?
Yes.
I just think it's so powerful that you not like, first off, the other people all come back. Like, I don't think it's so much the challenge. I think it's the fact that the other people come back and then just tell you whatever it is. So then at that point, unless you've stumped every single person in the whole cast, and we saw Adam almost did, when you get to decide what happens in both those 2 rounds and people come back and tell all of the answers, it's just so hard. Like, it would be almost impossible to lose the game after you win the final challenge.
So far, it has been. Like Jenny said, the winner of the final challenge always wins. And we've been saying that the last challenge is OP every round, every year that we do this. And it's changed every year. It's never the same. The first time, they literally just went around and asked each other, so who do you think? Like they did the would you rather answer the question or do something embarrassing? I think was one of the things.
Yeah, like the
Or,
dares or whatever.
Yeah, eat something or whatever. They
Yeah.
get through that, and then they go and ask all the jury, okay, who should I be voting for here? And I think the same thing happened here. You know, the only difference this time is that Adam won and the jury was not willing to help him. So he really had to stand on his own merit by the time he got to the end. But winning that challenge definitely helped.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly okay, and that's why maybe it is too OP, because the fact that he didn't even have anyone helping him, and him just by virtue of winning was in such a powerful position. But I was trying to think of like, okay, so say that Mackenzie isn't short-sighted and doesn't go hard for Hud and goes after Adam, gets Adam out. She wins the challenge, let's say. And what does she do in the first round? Like, does she figure out how? I think
she knocks out Hud.
She knocks out
I think
Hud.
she knocks out Hud. But
You
the
think she
thing is,
knocks out Hud
would
first?
she have ever been able to guess
That Adam
without Adam like knowing he was going to win and outing
saying-
himself? Like,
I mean, based on the conversations that took place and how that, the only reason they ever got the name Michael Bolton uttered was because Bianca overheard Adam saying stuff to Shane and Diedrich. So I think that he might have had it locked up no matter what.
And that's okay.
I also think at that point, like if you're Mackenzie, you knock out Hud and you're left with okay, I can either guess Adam and I'm not confident, or I can make him guess me. Like, what do you pick then? Do you just, are you like, maybe he doesn't know I'm Trace Atkins'
I think
daughter?
so. I think
I think
that's what she
yeah.
would probably have to do.
Based on
Yeah.
what we knew about what she knew at that point in the game, that's what I think that she would need to do, because he talks about trying to figure out, and he was like talking about like the military clues and stuff like that, and you know, he definitely spooked her.
Yeah.
But she didn't have concrete evidence that he knew for sure. So if she didn't have a strong name that she felt good about, that's probably the better play.
He's such an enigma, Adam, because on the one hand, it's like, and maybe he's doing this for television. On one hand, he knows so much about Trace Atkins, and at other times, he seems to know literally nothing about Trace Atkins, including not even his first name.
He doesn't have good name recall.
Yeah,
But
I think it's the name thing.
He's like, it's somebody Atkins. I just can't put my
But,
finger on it.
but he does a lot with the veterans, and he wears the hat. It's like
you ain't never had that moment where it's on the tip of your tongue, and you're like, God, come on, man, it's right there. I just Clay Aiken, you know, like I think that's all that was. And it would have helped, like to Jenny's point, had they like just dogpiled on Adam. Then maybe he doesn't even see Mackenzie's confirmation clue. You know, he's sitting there thinking it might be Trace Atkins, but it could be somebody else. And then when he sees her face pops up, and then all like the Trace Atkins lyrics and all these other things pop up, he's like, he even says, I don't think the guy they're trying to get me to guess wears a black hat, but I know Trace Atkins wears a black hat. If you don't let him see that picture, maybe he doesn't guess that they really fumbled by not winning that last challenge.
Now we have to think about the fact that we did not get to see Adam's billboard fully. And if he did not win and he got taken out, as they should have done,
we would have seen it.
I have to believe there would have been something very revealing on that billboard. It might have even said "when a man loves a woman," and we might and that might have been the nail in the coffin for him. So again,
that's so true.
Like those billboards were so revealing. And I think that the fact that there was only like 3 layers reduced from him, like knowing Michael Bolton is his relative, I could see what was kind of going on there, but you couldn't make out any words on it. They could make out enough that there was not a bandana. If they had words, if it said anything that could lead you to Michael Bolton, and keep in mind, all the other people are there seeing it too. And that's, again, where they lost it. They did not get information on Adam.
But such a good point.
Yeah, I like it, though. I do. I like when you get to the finale, like for Adam, he had the most information. So from my point of view, yeah, he deserves to win because he knows 100%. Everybody. I look at this game as who can I figure out, right? How do I get the most information correct? And a lot of them are playing defense heavy. And that's why their social games are kind of up in the air this time, because they're using their layups to go after other people. You should guess this real quick so I can see what happens. You should guess this wrong name. You should guess this wrong name. They've been doing that to Adam all season. So for him to be the one person who had guaranteed information going in and had the wherewithal to win that challenge, yeah, give it to him, because everybody else is now going to the jury going, please help me. Please help me. Please, dear God, please help me. And he didn't even have to. He was so confident that he was bragging about it. So I feel like if you get to the final 3 with the most information and you win that challenge, I mean, what can we really say? You know, he told them his person because he knew they couldn't do nothing with it. It's Michael Bolton, dummy. Duh. You don't know you don't know his songs. You don't know my daddy. You know, my uncle. That's how it came off. Like he was already flexing.
Yeah. And he knew before that point. There were lots of confessionals saying, I'm the biggest threat right now. Like, I think the billboards and him winning the challenge was the confirmation he needed. But it seemed, I guess, obviously, we don't know exactly when certain confessionals were filmed, but I feel like he was I think he knew HUD at the end of like the Danny Boot episode. And I think that he was pretty sure about Mackenzie being Trace Atkins' daughter, like before he saw the billboard, and the billboard just kind of like reinforced it. So even like they gave him too much power without knowing how much power they were giving him, because they did not know how much he knew. And they just gave him the ability to set it up all the way he wanted. I'll never forgive him for this. I'm just joking.
Are we interested to take one last look at the clue wall?
Sure.
Yeah, see if there's
Is there
things that we never figured out?
Is there anything
sure there's
here
lots.
that we never figured out on the clue wall?
Dang. I mean, this wall stresses me out. I could never play this game.
It's
I would
so
look at the
chaotic.
wall and just
Yeah.
start making up stuff.
What are
like,
the Michael Bolton clues? Besides, that was the one thing that we
The lightning
said
Yeah,
all
I
season.
think
like,
it,
what
I
else
think
was
that
it?
he was on The Masked Singer. I think that mask was
Okay.
Michael Bolton. I think he's the lightning bolts.
The heart, because he
um,
sings about love.
I maybe
Probably,
there's some
maybe.
things that are so
Like it's so generic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Like
is
some-
that the cherry? That's the cherry bomb for
Mm-hmm.
Mellencamp
Mhm.
or
Yeah.
Cherry
No.
Curry?
Wait, so now what was the pencil?
The
So we had the
pencil hair,
pencil,
obviously.
pencil hair, right? We had
No.
this pencil. What was that? What's the party hat?
Where's the? Oh, I don't know. See, I couldn't do this.
So we had a pencil. We have
16
a party
candles.
hat. Is
Oh
that
yeah,
it?
maybe
I
for
mean,
16 candles, the birthday
some of the stuff
party.
is such a stretch.
But
Like the
also
popcorn,
some of it means nothing. Is
Yeah.
the thing.
like popcorn
just-
bucket with tickets coming out of it. What is that?
An
actor.
Okay, there must be an
Like,
actor
Somebody's
here.
an
Yeah.
actor.
Yeah,
Somebody here
that's
is an actor.
why. So you have to throw enough generic stuff in there.
Like the grape jelly. Did we ever figure that out?
No.
Well, who are the relatives? Let me think. The grape jelly.
I just don't
Mhm.
know what the other Bolton clues are because I just feel like we found. Like they only would show us the lightning bolt. That was like the one thing that they
Yeah.
would go to be like,
What's this footprints with a magnifying glass?
Wall.
No. Yeah, you mean
Mhm.
no. Mm-mm.
Christopher Walken.
Christopher
Yes.
Walken. Yes.
You're walking.
Here's-
They need to have clues to other
Here's
people.
$10,000 cash.
Oh,
Is
Well-
that's like Godfather?
Yeah, is that a reference?
I don't know. It's a stretch.
wait,
Salt
the
shaker.
horse
Salt.
The horses seem to be a Michael Bolton reference.
No,
guess.
I think it's Trace Adkins for having the ponytail.
Oh, the ponytail. But then Michael Bolton also had long hair. But I'm sure
wasn't
he
a
put it in a
ponytail.
ponytail
It wasn't a
sometimes.
ponytail.
Yeah.
He had to have.
Is that Free Willy,
telling me
the
he never
whale?
wore a ponytail? I'm gonna find it. But yes, you're right. I think that was a clue for
Mhm.
Wait.
the editing with the horse, that like montage of Adam with the music from the first half of with like the horses, and there was like just they went real silly in this finale. It was very fun.
Yeah.
Can you
Salt
back that out
shaker.
just a little bit more? Yeah, let me get a
Dehance.
D hands. Unhands, unhands, unhands,
Unhands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I try
Me
again. I
just
stress
searching
out looking
Michael
at this.
Bolton
This clue
ponytail.
wall is
I got
like
it.
50% is just junk.
Shenanigans.
That's what I'm saying. You
Mhm.
have to have
And also-
some
It's
fake
like a
leads.
Rorschach
And
test.
also, like, to be fair though, like a lot of the people were like teen stars of the 80s, you know, like
Mhm.
Molly Ringwald, John Cryer, Michael Bolton. Like, they're not like all the school stuff can be for that, you know? So it's
Oh
sort
yeah,
of-
like the Breakfast Club or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, I guess so.
can see
Yeah, I
that.
guess
Yeah, a
there
lot
were
of
there
that
was a
was
scene with
Attention or-
pencils in
There was
the,
a pencil in the Breakfast Club.
But I think
Yeah,
that
it
was like
threw it up
Ali
to the-
Sheedy that was throwing the pencils
Yeah.
up, but whatever.
and it got stuck up there. You know, like do this thing. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I could have never done this. I'm still stuck on the grape jelly, so we can just let it go.
That was because they wanted to lead people down the jelly roll lane for
Does
Danny.
Mark
It
Anthony
worked
do
for a
anything
second.
with jelly? Does he
With
have a
grape
song
jelly?
about jelly?
I don't know.
All right. Claim to Fame season 3. Jenny, any final thoughts?
You know, it felt like it was over in a blink. I love it though. I will say, like there were points in this season where I wasn't I don't know if disappointed was the right word, but it was very different than the other seasons in that we were getting no correct guesses. Everything, you know, people weren't right about anything. And I wish that we got to know some more of the characters. Like I would have liked a bigger cast and for it to go a little bit longer. That's
Mhm.
mostly my feeling. I want more Claim to Fame. Give me more. It felt like it was a little too quick, but I feel like the editing this season they kicked it up a notch. I felt like so many episodes were like a movie. Like it was just the storytelling was so fun in some of these episodes. It really is like so underrated in terms of a strategic competition reality show. And I really hope that people realize what they're missing out on if they're not watching this already. I know that I'm not speaking to those people because they're not listening to this podcast, but any claim to fame is a good claim to fame.
To add to what you're saying, like the reveals on just about all these episodes, there was some big, like, left turn right at the end that you didn't see coming. That sort of like, and whether it was a little bit like manipulated to make you have that reaction, like you felt something every week.
Yeah. And they found people that made good television. Like, I'm sorry, Adam having the arc he had and being the winner of our season, like that is great. The fact, and I talk about this so much about like when you have such a specific pool of like what you're trying to cast, you need someone that has to be related to a celebrity, but you also want them to make good TV. They're still doing a great job with that, and that's why I'm hoping that the pool isn't getting too shallow and that they can continue to find these people, because it really is a great show, and I'm sad it's over. I just
There's
feel
a million
like
celebrity relatives out there.
There are, and they have to be entertaining. So I hope they're found. I hope we have a season 4.
2 seasons a year, you cowards.
Yeah, come on.
Dancing with the Stars.
8 episodes.
25 seasons later, we're still doing this. Rob, rank your winners.
To me, I love Gabriel.
You got to.
Gabriel's my guy. So, like, in terms of like playing the game, I'm not sure. Maybe Elsie might have been better at playing the game, but as far as like, I love Gabriel. He's such a likable guy. But Adam was so fun as like a villain who won the show. Yeah. So in terms of like for TV, I feel like that I love Gabriel and then Adam, and then I think that Elsie was who seems like a wonderful person, was not exactly the most riveting TV character, but in terms of like playing the game, maybe Elsie was the best. I think I'd flip it. Yeah.
Listen, I love Elsie. It's really hard for me to choose between Elsie and Gabriel. And then Adam gave us a different style of a win. Like you said, it was kind of villainous, and it wasn't as polished. I think Elsie is kind of like, she's like the Richard Hatch. You know, she came in with the strategy that works. Everybody was figuring it out. She had it down.
I feel like that Elsie and Logan was kind of like a Steven and JT situation of like, I think it's hard to sort of like parse who was doing what. And again, it was 2 years ago. I really don't remember.
It's okay. They were amazing. Just know that much. They could do no wrong in my eyes.
They were a great team.
They were both Steven and JT.
Hit Logan on the Traitors.
That's what I mean. Put Elsie and Logan
on
the
Traitors. From this show that should be on the Traitors, so many of them more than people that have been on the Traitors.
Monet
on the Traitors.
Gabriel, Chris,
Naomi.
Like from this season, you could get Naomi. Like I think imagine Adam on the Traitors. It'd be so funny. It'd be so good.
And Jesse,
you would make everyone so angry.
Like. They came to play. They really did. And there's a lot of these games. Like Dondi was a show that we didn't think would have gamers, but I mean, people showed up to play. And I think Claim to Fame is leading the pack of like shows that sound a little goofy, but when you let people cook and you cast good people, you have a good product at the end of the day.
So I'm just trying to think of like all of these like corporate entities and like what their paths are in terms of like the ABC Disney thing. I feel like that the closest that we could get is sending these people to Bachelor in Paradise. Is there anything else like in the ABC ecosystem? Dancing with the Stars?
Yeah, Dancing with the Stars. Give me that. Like everybody can't do it, but I think if you win, because there have been less famous people on Dancing with the Stars. I think if you win it, or you like if you're Logan and LC, you definitely can get a spot on Dancing with the Stars, right? Yeah. Gabriel can get one.
Get it. I think you have to be a fan favorite though. Yeah. Like I don't think that you could be Adam and then go to Dancing with the Stars.
I think you could be Adam and go Dancing with the Stars. I really do. I think he's a TV personality. I think you
can. He might hurt himself.
He will hurt himself. And that's
every time he tries to do something physical. It doesn't go well.
Yeah.
I'm very
But I would
excited
watch
because
it.
Pommel Horse Steve is going to be on Dancing with the Stars, and I think that's
Oh!
very charming. Mhm.
I did not know that. That's very
Mhm.
fun.
Yeah,
Tell
that's gonna
who
be
is
cool.
Pommel Horse Steve?
Rob, please.
Did you watch the Olympics?
Oh, the Spider-Man guy.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
he literally his only job on the men's gymnastics team was to do the pommel horse.
Yeah,
And
the guy
boy,
with the
did he do the
glasses, though,
pommel
right?
horse. Yeah.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. When
Yeah,
it was
they-
business time.
put his
Yes.
sister on Claim to Fame next season. Who would guess it?
Mm-hmm.
Like, why are there so many horses on the clue hall? I just don't understand.
We've had Olympians.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
someone related to Simone Biles again.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Any other thoughts for Claim to Fame season 3? All right, Maggie, what's coming up for you?
Yeah, I've been talking about Big Brother this season. I was on the update on Saturday.
You
I'll be
always do a great
around.
job.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. It's always great to be chatting about the amazing season of Big Brother that's happening right now. Like, Rob, we're eating good.
We're eating. Yeah.
We really are eating good.
No splinters here
No splinters here.
in our slop.
You can find me on TikTok, Threads, and Instagram, all at MLMorgan_.
Okay, great job. So fun to have you back here with us to talk Claim to Fame, Maggie. Chappell, you and I talked slop Monday night this week.
Yes, we talked about Big Brother. Like Maggie said, it's a great season, and we had a lot of sloppy things to share behind the patron paywall. So if you are
We need a
patron
Claim
of
to
RHAP,
Fame slop.
you think we could do that? I think we could do that.
I think especially if we go through like the celebrities, like sloppy things.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I think we've had to stop ourselves.
Yeah, we might even be able to
get.
get the celebrities' relatives on, and they could tell us some of the
Whoa.
cool stories that their relatives, they could tell us about the cool stories about their relatives. I would love to hear that, some of the scandalous stories at least.
Mhm.
But yeah, check me out on the slop talking about Big Brother, and then check me out here on RHAP talking about Netflix shows with you on Nothing But Netflix, talking about Below Deck with Sasha, and then on Recap Kickback talking about whatever the hell I want to talk about. And so I think Puya and I are about halfway through covering the season of Bel Air. That's a fun time, so check it out, and subscribe to our YouTube page, youtube.com/@recapkickback.
Okay, great job, Chappell. Great to have you here for the season finale of Claim to Fame. And Jenny, we've done it again. 3 seasons.
Wow. I mean, I can't even believe how lucky we've got, how lucky I got, stumbling into this beautiful little show that makes me so happy. I just want to say, thank you, Maggie. Thank you, Chappell, for joining us on the finale. I love you both. I've had such a great time talking to everyone. I love getting to talk to my friends that are excited about this show. I'm so sorry for how rambly and insane I have been on these podcasts, but it is truly a testament to how much I actually really love this show and how excited I get about it. And I will never grow tired of talking about it. So thank you for giving me the opportunity to do that. It's been a really good time. And I hope that we get a season 4 so that we can do this again. And hopefully more than 8 episodes in 7 weeks.
Don't be so
that we
cheap.
can do more of this, because it's really just such a breath of fresh air to be podcasting about a show that is really just good vibes. So thank you to the 3 of you, and for everyone else who has joined us over this season. It really does fill my cup. So yeah.
Well, Jenny, maybe we're not done yet. Maybe we get to talk to our winner or some of our other standouts from the season. So stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed, because if we do one of these interviews, you don't want to miss it. Rob has a website.com/subscribe, and make sure you're subscribed here on our YouTube channel as well. We love to read your comments and your feedback about the show. We want to know what you thought about the season and how we did. So let us know in the comments. Thank you so much for joining us. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.